Think you need to sketch first so you can use watercolour pencils? Well, think again. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how I painted this really beautiful autumnal leaf from scratch, and I only used watercolour pencils. It's a lot easier than you think, and yes, it's for beginners. So let me show you. First thing to do is choose your colours, and then once you've decided, start with the lightest colour first. This is the leaf that I'm roughly following, and this line that I'm doing here now is the main vein of the leaf. This tutorial is more about creating loose leaves without the need to draw. That was the whole point of creating this little series with watercolour pencils. All I'm doing here is shading out a rough idea of the shape of the leaf, just loosely following that picture. And also, if you notice how I'm colouring mostly in one direction. And I say this because when we add the water a bit later on, this will actually help to create the look of the leaf popping off the page and almost giving a 3D effect. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going for the realistic look. I'm not good with doing realism. And this is more about experimenting with the colours, how to use watercolour pencils to create the look you want to create. So already look at the shape that this is taking on. You can either follow along with me, get all your supplies ready and then follow along with me. I have kept it all in pretty much real time. The only bits that I've cut out are either me picking up the pencil or just getting ready for the next part. But it is in real time for you. Also, work your way up the colours. Don't use the bold, bright colours straight away. Use the lighter colours first and just do exactly the same thing. And then the centre of the vein, I've just gone slightly darker in that bit just to highlight it a bit more. But you see this bit in the middle where I've not coloured it in. It's sort of naturally created the middle part of the leaf. I haven't planned to do that at all. As I've naturally sort of coloured in, do you see this bit here? It's turning out, I don't know if it's just me seeing this, but it's turning out like a natural circle, and that's going to be a highlight now. I'm going to imagine the sun is on that, or the angle of the light somehow is on that. So that's going to be my light area. So that's naturally formed. Can you see these little white areas in the leaves as well? And as I'm colouring in, again, it's all just naturally formed. And I'm going to imagine there's a cut or a break in the leaf. If you imagine a bit of the leaf has come away, it's got caught on something, blowing in the wind. That's the idea that's in my head anyway. Tell me if I'm being crazy or weird, but that's how my head is working. I'm going to add some of this gorgeous orangey yellow colour as well. If you've been following this little series, so in the first one, I painted a leaf and it looked like a feather. In the second one, leaf 2 is sort of like some ash leaves, and that's the second one. This is the third leaf. It's just a bright red, yellow, orangey, autumnal or fall leaf. I will leave the other 2 videos in my description box below so you can check those out as well, because this is part of a little series where I wanted to learn how to draw leaves without drawing. I couldn't find anything on YouTube that shows that kind of thing, that shows this, what I'm doing now. Tell me if I'm wrong. So let me just tell you what paper I'm using. I'm using Winsor Newton 100% cotton paper, and it's cold press, so you can see the little tiny grooves in the paper. It's basically an A4 size, and I've split it into 6 squares. I will show you the full page at the end so you can see exactly what I'm doing, and you can either follow along or come back and watch the next video as well. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. You get a little notification when I have posted some videos. I'm mainly planning on posting every Friday, with the odd one or two here and there when I can. If I can't, I definitely want to post every Friday for you. That's the plan. I'm not focusing too much on details, by the way, but I am just sort of adding in a few darker areas just on the edge of the leaf where it is naturally darker anyway, and I'm just defining areas where it might be a little bit darker and where there might be a little bit of texture as well. Again, things like that are quite hard to create with watercolor. Watercolor pencils is fairly new to me, so that's what I'm trying to do anyway, try and create some sort of texture. While I'm here as well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. My name is Shahnaz and this is Bloom Art by SW. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you're getting some sort of use out of this. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments of what you think to watercolor pencils. It's newish to me. It all started when I bought some Caran watercolor pencils. I haven't actually told you what I'm using. They are the Caran watercolor pencils. There's 40 colours in this pack. I swatched a tree with every single colour in this set just to test them out, because I'm not a big fan of swatch videos. Have a look at that, see what you think to all the colours. But what I mentioned in that video was that I wanted to sort of break down the colours and just use certain ones. You don't need 40 colours. I don't need 40 colours. I wanted them. So that's why I got them. But I'm so glad I did, because the colours are just absolutely amazing. And this particular set, so it's the Caran Swisscolor watercolour pencils. They're actually student grade or aimed at kids, aimed at children. And I just couldn't believe that when I first swatched the tree. By doing that, it has led to me creating these really pretty, gorgeous leaves. And I'm absolutely amazed at the end results. And I cannot wait to show you the end results once I've used the colours that I'm using. So I've just picked a brown. That wasn't in my original selection. I'm just using the brown to make certain areas darker and start giving it an even more of a 3D effect and make the colours pop. I've kept the centre white and the edges of the leaves brown where it will be naturally darker. Okay, so we're going to add some water. I love this bit so much. It's so exciting. Okay, so watch this. So apparently the rule is to start with a light bit of water on your brush. And this is just a Winsor Newton, Winsor and Newton, size 4. It's just a small brush, not too much water. Start with your lighter areas and look at how vibrant, how bright and colourful. The colours are just amazing. I don't know how do they do it? It just looks so nice. I know I said I wasn't going for realism, but it looks better. It looks better than a real leaf. I am working quite carefully because I want to keep that shape, and it almost does look 3D, and keep that highlight there as well. So I'm being careful the colours don't run into each other too much. You might need to experiment yourself as well. If you've got some watercolour pencils, you might just have to experiment and just have a play about with them. Oh, I'm not panicking. I've just got a little bit onto the... Oh, it's not wiping off. I wasn't planning on painting a background. I'll leave it for the moment. I'll come back to it. It wasn't wiping off. We'll come back to that. Let's just carry on for now. Look at this yellow, orangey yellow colour. Do you remember when I put that down? And again, it is just looking so bright and absolutely gorgeous. Really bright colours. I'm just going to clean my brush, damp brush, not too much water, and just blend this bit in really nicely. And just blend it all in. And I'm trying to create, the effect of the edges of the leaf. I was just trying to create that bit as well, but all the time making it blend in really, really nicely as best as I possibly can. I'm really sorry for the odd camera wobble. I think I've just knocked it slightly because I've got the angle of the camera different to what I normally do. I wanted to try and get a different angle for you, and I'm not entirely sure what technique I should be using to blend the colours in so that we don't get those lines, you know, those harsh lines. So it still seems to work with what I've done, but if you are working on a project and you don't want harsh lines, maybe just add some more water in so that it's not so harsh. But I feel like it works. I'm just doing that little sort of feathering technique, I suppose it's called, just to get a bit of an edge, just to make it look like it's not a straight line on the leaf. I'm just doing the last few bits, and then we're going to leave that to dry and then come back to it, and then we're going to go in with a second layer. So I've left it to dry. It doesn't take too long to dry at all. It just roughly depends on where you are in the world. But this next pencil that I've got here, nice and sharp, and I'm just doing those, you know, those little really light veins on a leaf. The plan is to do those. I don't know if I've created that or not, but that's the plan. It seems to be working. I'm just going to go all the way around and do exactly the same thing. Keep it nice and light. Don't go in too heavy-handed. On other leaves or on a different leaf, I think I'll do the complete opposite and go heavy-handed with the veins and see if that creates something different. So maybe I'll do that on the next one. Which reminds me, if there is a particular leaf that you would like to see, I've got some ideas on the next two, and there's one more, the last one. If you've got an idea of what kind of leaf you would like to see me try and create, I'm not going to promise anything because I don't know how it's going to go, but if there is a leaf you want me to have a go at, I'll definitely consider that. Because like I mentioned earlier, I don't think I've seen leaves being created from scratch right to the end using watercolour pencils. I've seen videos where there's little snippets of leaves using watercolour pencils, but not literally from scratch, from beginning to end. I am actually really pleased with this. I feel like there's a lot of texture. There's some really nice colours going on in there. It's very autumnal, orange, reds, yellows. I just think the whole thing just looks really, really nice. I'm just doing the edges. I'm just adding in some brown again, just to make the little bits stand out, just to give it a bit of interest and a bit of shape. So it's not too neat because leaves are not perfect. So I'm just trying to go around the edges and just give it some final definition. So the background, I've picked a blue to make it look a bit like a sky. I'm just going round the leaf just ever so slightly because I didn't originally plan to have a background. However, it does look really, really nice. So again, I think on the next one, I plan to do some sort of leaf. I'm not sure which yet, maybe an oak leaf. I'm not entirely sure, but I will do a background. And again, the same thing, keep it nice and light. I'm not putting on too much water, and I'm going to blend the edges so it doesn't have a too harsh an edge. And I think it does look really nice. I would really, really love to know your thoughts. I'll leave you the first leaf and the second leaf. The second leaf is really good because I've put techniques in there that you can follow, and you might find that a bit easier. But thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a go. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I'm at Bloom Art by SW. Feel free to contact me on there. Feel free to leave comments on here. If you've got a picture you want to show me, I would absolutely love to see it. So tag me on Instagram or TikTok. But I will hopefully see you in the next video. But as promised, I will show you the whole thing at the end to show you how far I've got. So stick around till the end and I'll show you the whole page. It looks like I'm not doing anything, but I have got a tiny bit of water in the brush and I'm just trying to soften certain areas, but I think it's just not going to soften. but it looks good. As promised, here's what I've been working on. The first one, leaf 1, looks like a feather, but there you go. Leaf 2, some ash leaves, and the third one we've just worked on. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.